Hey YouTube, what's up? You're watching Concealed Steel. Topic of today's video, squib loads and the danger that they are, and a little bit of education about them if you don't know what they are. Before we get started, please do me a favor and subscribe. Click that thumbs up button and click the little bell icon if you do subscribe so you get notified of future uploads. It really helps my channel out, so I appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, first let's define a squib load. A squib load is when you pull the trigger, the primer goes bang, and maybe a little bit of powder inside the case and cooks off. Maybe it doesn't, but there's enough force to push the bullet, the actual projectile, out of the case and into the bore or into the rifling, into the barrel somewhere, but not enough to make it go out. So basically what you end up with is a small pop or a small bang and a bullet lodged in your barrel. So the danger of that obviously is when you rotate that cylinder and go bang a second time, if there's nowhere for those gases to go and that bullet to go, it's going to explode in your hand. So they're really scary. Squib loads are scary to me. Now, squib loads, if you know what you're looking for and you're thinking, you're conscious when you're shooting, it's not that hard to catch. So you pull the trigger, you hear a small pop, not a big recoil, especially with 44 mag. It's not that hard to figure out with a 44 mag. I'm going to roll in some footage right now. As you can see, I had a squib load at the range this past weekend.
Whoa.
Small pop. That was basically just the primer going off. Even my dad was like, whoa. So it's obvious that something went wrong there. So if you're shooting and something like that goes wrong and freaks you out, I caution you, please check your barrel. It is worth your time to stop shooting, unload your pistol, and check your bore. Don't have to look through it because I don't recommend looking through bores. But I looked through mine from an angle and I couldn't see any light coming through it. I immediately knew what happened because I didn't see anything hit the target. I didn't see any kind of round hit the dirt on the opposite end. So those are all cues to look for a squib load. Again, very, very dangerous. I was shooting some 44 mag from LAX ammo.
Whoa.
New production ammo, not reloads. And yeah, it's squib. And I'm going to roll in some pictures right now of what the squib looked like. Inside my cylinder, you can see all the powder like that didn't even get burned right here. And it must have gotten some sort of water leaked in or some sort of liquid leaked in with it because it didn't get any ignition. All it was just that short pop that you saw initially. And then all this powder just kind of pushed out of the casing into the barrel, as you can see here. The reason I make this video today isn't to trash LAX ammo. However, it was LAX ammo that squibbed right in my gun. As a matter of fact, my brother had a squib in his 40 from LAX. But luckily for him, the round did not go far enough into the bore to let the next round go into battery. So what happened was his slide didn't go all the way forward into battery, and it was locked back a little bit, allowing the breech face wasn't closed. So he was able to visually see that, oh, something's wrong with this gun. And maybe it's a good thing. Maybe he wouldn't even have thought about it. In fact, that's why I made this video today. The more we educate people about squibs, the less chance we have of somebody having a gun blow up in their hands, because that's the next step. You got a squib load, this gun's blowing up. So please take those indicators and think about this and just store this in your memory, because when you hear that little pop, be wary of a squib load all the time when you're shooting. You should always be looking for where your projectile hit. And if you don't see anything hit the dirt or hit the target or whatever, be wary that there's still a projectile in your barrel. It's one of the scariest things aside from a double charge, in my opinion. Because there's pretty much nowhere else for that energy to go but out and explode the gun. So again, thanks for swinging by the channel. Thanks for subscribing or clicking that thumbs up button if you did. And if you didn't, please remember to do so. I encourage you guys to just think about this. Talk about squib loads to all the other people around you who shoot firearms so everybody knows what to look for. Or if they just hear that little pop, that primer going off instead of a big bang and no recoil, to stop, unload the gun, and take a look at what just happened. Again, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Thanks. Have a nice day.